I'll tell you what it was. First I did words. I did a lot of lyrics. I used to love, when I was in college, I had lucked out with a really good English romantic period, all the poets and stuff. For some reason, I smoked the right weed or something. I was totally into it. And the teacher was sort of a hippie, and one of the first hippies at Sir George Williams in Montreal. And we got along well. I used to go to his house and we'd smoke a joint and we'd talk about writers, Blake, we'd talk about Wordsworth, Keats, the Grecian Urn. And I just got into it. You know, and then that was first words. And then we did Yasker's Farm, which really was called Who Am I But You and the Sun, which there was a nice melody that this guy, well, of course, Procol Harum was there. I mean, there was, think about what was going on. They had Emerson, Lake and Palmer. There was a lot of very dramatic, regal, you know, music going on. It was all kinds of explosions of different things. And in the early days, I did lyrics. I did the lyrics for Mississippi Queen. Not that they're brilliant, but I find that when you're a drummer, phrasing is everything. You know, if you listen to Stevie Nicks, she's a drummer. She's an amazing drummer when you listen to the way she turns a lyric. Otis Redding, they're drummers. They're singers, they're singing drummers. Leslie's a drummer. Leslie doesn't need me. The best drummers are like Van Halen, you know, David Bowie. You listen to them, they could just walk into a room and they'll get you dancing, just by the way they move. So I like to consider that situation as being the kind of thing where I moved from lyrics to phrasing, and then I started getting into drumming while I'm singing. I started doing, you know, as a matter of fact, that's when Mississippi Queen was. It's actually a backbeat that I copied from Levon Helm from Cripple Creek. And Levon's a good friend. He's a lovely man. And I remember going to him and saying, Levon, do I owe you any publishing? Because, you know, Mississippi, I'm using that fatback drum. You know, up on Cripple Creek.
That's great.
Mississippi Queen. Anyways, he looked at me and says, Corky, I do not hear Cripple Creek and Mississippi Queen whatsoever. You just hold on to it. I thought that was good. I did offer to him, but yeah, I think a lot of people borrow, you know, when it comes to stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, my writing went with my drums. I decided that, and this is before quote unquote rap became popular. But if you listen to any kind of like Sarah Vaughan, all these, you know, these some of these singers that vamp like that, that's really just drumming. Those are fills, and I love Celtic music. So the feel of Celtic music, you listen to, again, I'll go back to Fleetwood Mac. That's all this Celtic kind of stuff. It's beautiful. Phrasing, it's always in the phrasing. It's the way you turn a phrase. It's the most interesting thing about a conversation is once you talk to somebody, how they stop and go and everything. And you're listening, but you're not hearing what the words are. You're listening to how they're telling it to you. And I think that's what makes singing interesting too. So that to me is drumming and writing. It's just playing the drums to the vocals. And yeah, it's a lot of fun too. It's like they had in the country music, I think they call it eefing, you know. You know, with the spoons.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do anything. Everybody's a drummer, you know.